Okay, so I was having a little bit of problems getting the hard line disconnected from the flex line on the passenger side. So I just soaked it with some PB Blaster and let it sit while I put the driver's side all back together. And it's real hard working in there. There's not as much room on this side as there is on the other side. So what I did was I just loosened that large nut that holds the flex line to the frame and just gently pulled the whole assembly through the frame rail. You do have a little bit of leeway with those hard lines. They do bend just a little bit, but not much. If you kink them, if there's a hard break, a hard corner in the line and it's kinked, then that line is done. You got to replace it. So I was worried that, well, this brass fitting on that hard line, just like the other side, is a little bit rounded off from someone messing with it before, and I was worried that I was going to round it off even more trying to work with it. So like I said, you have the option to pull the hard line through the frame just a little bit to give yourself a little more access and a little more leverage to safely and properly get that brass fitting removed. Well, I had a bit of a problem over here on the passenger side trying to get the hard line removed from the flex brake line, and unfortunately it was just kind of a little bit rounded off to start with, and I just made it worse trying to get it out of there. So I ended up having to cut the hard line. On the plus side, I did not have a problem at all getting the brass fitting at the proportioning valve loose. So I was able to get the entire hard line for that for the passenger side front caliper removed. So what I'm going to do is I went to the parts store and I got a new piece of 3/16 inch hard line. Bring that up there, 3/16 by 40. I actually measured this out to be about 36, and unfortunately I was planning on cutting this and reflaring it, but my double flare tool, I just remembered that I broke the little 3/16 inch little fitting that goes to my double flare tool, and I'm not comfortable doing a single flare on a brake line. I'm fine with doing it on a fuel line, even a high pressure fuel line, which is like 40 psi, but on a brake line you easily exceed 40 psi, especially in a panic stop. So 40 inches, that's only 4 inches over the 36, so there should be enough there, just slack that I can take up, so I don't want to have to reflare the ends of this. So anyway, I'm gonna make a duplicate. Since I got this piece out, the original hard line, I'll make a duplicate with my little tubing bender, and I think I can duplicate some of these real tight radiuses. This is the one I'm a little bit concerned about, but I think this tool will work with that radius. Yeah, we're pretty good, because this is the end that flares into the proportioning valve, and there's just not a whole lot of room between the proportioning valve and then there's a cross member right here, and it's real close. There's about a ½ inch distance between the bottom of this brake line and the cross member. So I'll get started on making my new hard line. Alright, and here's what I was able to come up with on the brake line. So we start there, that's the proportioning valve end. We come around over here to where it meets up with the flex line, and this little spot right here, this little kind of wavy area, all that's for is just to take up space, because like I said, this new piece of hard line that I bought is 40 inches long, and I measured out this original hard line to be about 36 from end to end. So all this does is just kind of take up the slack. So now we got this done. We'll put it in the truck. And just a couple things I wanted to mention: if you ever have to make up a hard line, just make sure that you keep your little brass fittings on the end. Don't start bending this thing up and have your brass fittings somewhere in the middle, because they're not gonna go past these turns. See, it just stops right there. You're not gonna be able to bend it past there. So just make sure you got your brass fittings at the ends of your piece of tubing, and then just bend away. Just be careful, just don't kink it. Just try and use your bending tool and try and make nice smooth bends. You do have some leeway. You can use your hand and your fingers to some extent, but just don't kink it. So anyway, we'll get this installed in the truck, or at least see how well it installs, and then I'll shoot another video. Damn, that was a lot of work, but I got it. Everything's snug down. Didn't strip any threads, didn't cross thread anything, didn't strip the heads off the brass fittings. Everything's snug, no kinks in the line. That's not quite a kink right there, but it's close, but it'll fly. So thank God we're done with this. That was a bitch and a half. So coming out here to the wheel. Out there, the wheel. It's out there somewhere. And we'll put the caliper on.